going on, everybody? My name is TAETRO and welcome back to an all new Beat Diaries. Decided on pretty much one day's notice to get in a car and drive from California to Massachusetts for the Thanksgiving holiday with my friend Joe. We're going to be making some beats along the road on this trip. And my main listening device for this trip will be my new Ultimate Ears in-ear monitors, the Ultimate Ears Live. Thank you to Ultimate Ears for sponsoring this video. Custom fitted in-ear monitors are really nice. I just want to show off the quick cleaning tool that comes in the case because that's important. These things go in your ears. And they're super comfortable and they sound amazing. And they look super cool, which is one of my favorite aspects. But yeah, these are custom fitted to my ears and you can get yours custom fitted to your ears. I've yet to tangle the cord, which was very helpful along the way on this trip. And these plates are customizable on the in-ear monitors. I actually have a couple more sets that Ultimate Ears sent over so that I can customize the look. I got the mirrored version and then I got like a clear version with the Ultimate Ears logo. They fit super snug but super comfortably in your ears, and since they're fitting right in your ears, they pretty much block out all extra sound and deliver that whatever you're listening to right directly to your ears. So it's really nice. Thank you to Ultimate Ears for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you check out their link in the description. When you support the sponsor, you support the channel. But we are back along the way on our trip, and our first stop was visiting some friends in Lubbock, Texas. And thus begins our beat making journey here. Now, a lot of people ask me questions about filming myself, and actually recently I've been training Duncan to help me operate the camera and help me frame the shots. So he's running to tell me I'm too far from the camera right now, so I go ahead and move up, and then he's just letting me know, okay, that's fine, just don't cross this line. We are going to be using the SP404 Mark II in today's video, which I was very stoked to get from Roland and be part of some of that launch content, but I've loved it as an on-the-road beat-making device, being standalone. And of course, I'm not going to miss an opportunity here to grab some sounds of leaves, the unique sounds of this backyard in Lubbock, Texas. I mean, with my in-ear monitors in, it's nice because I can hear every crisp, clear sound of those leaves as I'm collecting them. Very good for field recording. Plugging right into the SP404 Mark II, I've got my Portacapture by Tascam, but I'm listening through my in-ear monitors. I've been really loving flipping samples on the 404, and that's the first thing we're going to do here. So I like to manipulate these samples, and I pretty much always end up like changing the pitch or something. It can help give it more of a lo-fi feel, lo-fi sound. Then I'm always thinking about the performance, right? So I go ahead and chop that sample. And once I do that, I can do fun things like reverse those chops. Maintaining some of the original phrasing of the sample, but then adding my own flair, either by changing the pitch or reversing or different fun things like that. Also, adding effects is fun. So we've got enough to work with here for the basic backbone of a track. Let's add some drums. This part of the process is pretty similar to my process on, a normal DAW or something. Just select a bunch of samples and start building up that backbeat. Before I left for this trip, I loaded up the SD card with a bunch of samples. Some from my own packs, some from packs that I just like, tons of loops, tons of drum one-shots, so I should be good for this trip. So now that we've got drums and the basic sample laid out, I kind of want to find a one-shot sample that I can play melodically. The 404 does have a chromatic playing mode for samples, but I'm not too comfortable with it yet. I'm not sure that I love the way that it works. So I find these one-shot samples and put them on a pad, and then tune each of them, so I end up having like 4 or so notes to improvise with over the top of, everything else that I've built up for the beat. Duncan is letting me know he is loving this video so far. And of course, he would like to be a part of it. So yeah, these one-shot piano notes now are in tune. I can find ways to sort of fit them over the beat as a top-line melody. While I was capturing the field recordings, it was great to be able to hear everything I was recording crystal clear. But now that I'm making a beat with my in-ear monitors, it's great to just block out the world and get lost in the beat. Of course, once we get all that recorded as a loop, the 404 performance effects are just so much fun to play with. It's nice because in California we don't really have fall or autumn, and here in Texas it was nice to experience, the leaves changing, the leaves on the ground, it's just a different vibe. So it inspired that beat and I had a good time making it for sure. But of course, we are back on the road. You love to see that, over 1 day left in your trip. But we are trying to make it back for the holiday. And when it's not my turn to drive and Joe is driving, I can take advantage and, sit back in the car, work on some beats, work on some of the stuff that I had recorded while I was in Texas. And again, the in-ear monitors are great for this because the car is a very loud place to work. It can be difficult to work and travel, especially when you want to pay attention to sound, but these things are literally directly in my ears. But getting inspired just on these long roads is such a unique experience and fun way to make beats. I really recommend a road trip for any of you beat makers and producers out there. Eventually it went from really dreary weather to like this really nice sunset, but eventually as we got even further, we got caught in some pretty rough snow. Like it got way worse than what you'll see here, and actually the last half hour to our hotel ended up being, close to an extra hour because we had to drive like 30 to 40 miles per hour on the highway. Nice to see snow for the first time in a while. Eventually we of course did make it back. I'm staying at my parents' house for the holiday, and I think there's time to make one more beat, and I also want to talk a little bit about the 404's sequencer. And I didn't actually mean to capture this session, but it actually turned out pretty good. I'll talk about this sequencer after, so enjoy the beat for now. Yeah, so for that session, I really wasn't using the pattern record or the sequencer at all. But here, I'll mess with it a little bit. And one of the reasons I don't really use it that much on the 404 is because it's more for if you're just sitting and you're making your song. It's not really for performances. And there's a couple reasons I think that. First of all, I mean, it pretty much works like any other sequencer. You've got your metronome, and I can immediately start recording. You can even swap into a rehearsal mode where you can still play, but you're not actually recording your ideas. You can also chain patterns together and things like that. But there will be certain instances where I want to use the performance effects, and while I'm in this pattern recording mode, I'm not sure if I need to update the firmware or if this feature is just not there. You can't actually use performance effects. So it's really clear that the pattern recording, the sequencing is not meant for live performance, which is a shame. It's a missed opportunity, I think. And, you know, we are layering ideas on top of each other, which is great. This is like a standalone device. You want to be able to make your songs right on this device and not put them into a DAW. But to get to the cool performance stuff, I actually have to exit this pattern view, which stops the whole project. Nonetheless, I still have a lot of fun. I just work differently on the 404, and to me that's one of the best aspects. You know, I don't want everything to be Ableton Live's workflow necessarily. Little effect hack here, turning the reverb up on my porta capture. But yeah, between using a standalone device like the 404 and then having my new in-ear monitors from Ultimate Ears, when you're on the road and doing a trip, you're away from your studio, you're away from your own space, but you can kind of create your own space in this situation. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Beat Diaries. If you did, please leave a like. Don't forget to check out the sponsor link in the description for Ultimate Ears if you want to pick yourself up some in-ear monitors. I can highly recommend Ultimate Ears as some of the highest quality in-ear monitors out there that I've ever tried. And I see a lot of artists that I really like rocking Ultimate Ears too, so that must mean something. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.